Just realized I wasn't recording. Oh well. What? Yeah, they kill people all kinds of ways. One of the dudes that is in the crucible, he got pressed to death under like big heavy rocks. Just like laid a bunch of rocks on him. It's wild. And then on Monday, I will publish this vocab list, which has complete the sentences on them. And then after you're finished with the vocab list, which we'll go over on Tuesday together, you will need to make sure that Act 2 social status and Act 3 character motivations are finished, which you can be working on as we're reading. We've gotten through all of Act 2 at this point, so you could go ahead and do the Act 2 social status, and you should be done with Act 3 by the end of Monday, so you'll be able to do this. Any questions?
Ms. McClellan.
Yes.
What's going on with your guys' end? Because you're glitching out on my end.
I don't know. Am I glitching for anybody else?
No.
All right, must be you.
It's a me thing.
Yeah. Well, like if you wind up getting kicked out or anything, we're just reading today after this, and I'll also post this on the YouTube channel, which, to remind you guys, yes, people had forgotten about this last period. Every lesson that I remember to record, which granted is not every single one, but I'm supposed to be recording them every day, I upload it to a YouTube playlist so that it's not taking up space on Canvas, and you can get to it right here on the home page. It will take you to, oh boy, I haven't uploaded a lot for this one. Oops. But this is where you'll find English 3 videos. So very easy. Okay, any questions about any of that before we start reading today? Any questions about what you're doing Friday or Monday? If you have questions as you're doing the stuff on Friday or Monday, feel free to email me. I'm just going out of town, so I always have my email on me. I keep it on my phone and am available to help. Sorry, private chat. Okay, so we're going to pick up in Act 3 where we were the other day. This is not you. You are the Crucible. And
Act 2.
what, LeBron?
I thought we were still in Act 2.
No, we finished Act 2 already.
Oh. Oh yeah.
The last we thought was they were calling everybody out. Well, correction, they were calling what's his face out.
John Proctor.
He was
Yeah.
Christian.
And John Proctor called out the priest.
Yes.
Because he said he was garbage. That's what he basically
Yes, he did. So I remember reading Giles, the old man, was like throwing John Proctor under the bus for plowing on Sundays.
rather than going to church.
Okay, this is where we left off. Proctor's kind of questioning Hale and Paris about like how they know people are guilty of witchcraft and all these little things. Like he says to Danforth, who, like, yes, these kids died, these babies of Rebecca Nurse's died, but how do we know that Rebecca Nurse murdered them, or sorry, the Putnam kids, not the Nurse kids. How do we know that Rebecca Nurse murdered them by sending her spirit on them? Like, there's no way to prove that. That's what the Putnams think, but They could have just died because like healthcare wasn't very good back then, and like childbirth was a lot more difficult. There are all kinds of reasons that babies could have died. It's unusual that 7 died from the same family, but it happened. So we're picking up here with Hawthorne, Danforth, Proctor, Harris. Herrick will eventually show up. Does everybody remember who they were reading the other day?
So Randall was Danforth.
That's
I
right.
was Gal.
Giles, you were Giles. It's Giles. Alyssa was Proctor, I think. Alexis or Miss McClellan, because Alexis couldn't answer,
That's right.
was
He's not here anyway.
Paris.
Proctor.
I was Paris.
No. You're Paris?
Alyssa's been Paris the whole time.
Paris. Okay, so Alyssa was Paris. You were Proctor.
Yeah.
I was Hawthorne. Randall was Danforth. LeBron was Giles. And what's his name? Zane was Herrick.
Okay. We got that established. Randall, you're going to either want to speak really loudly or sign on to Zoom yourself so that people can hear when you're talking. You can speak loudly if you want. Okay, so Danforth is thinking about this and then brings Hawthorne over. Hawthorne leans in and whispers in his ear. And so we're picking up here with Hawthorne.
Okay. All right, I made it. Okay. She's the one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning your wife sent me a claim in which she states that she is pregnant now.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, I can.
Good. My wife pregnant?
There be no sign of it. We have examined her body.
But if she says she is pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She will not.
Never, sir, never.
We have thought it too convenient to be credited. However, if I should tell you now that I would let her be kept another month, and if she begins to show her natural signs, you shall have her living yet another year until she is delivered. What say you to that? John Proctor. Come now, you say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good thing. She is saved at least this year, and a year is long. What say you, sir? It is done. Have you that?
No. For the last question,
Will you drop this charge?
before I say my line. So the plot twist, Elizabeth is pregnant. Despite her coldness, clearly.
How? Who is she pregnant with?
No, she's pregnant with John's kid.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought
she's not going to cheat on him. No way.
for
She's
a
like,
second, I thought Elizabeth was the girl who was possessed. We'll call it possessed because I think that's what she was.
oh, Abigail? Or,
no, the one that was stuck in bed.
oh, Betty.
Betty. I thought she was Betty for a second. I was like, how is she pregnant if she was like,
Do it like really.
yeah.
No, also Betty's like a young child.
See, but when we talked about Abigail's age between parents, it was like, it's not that surprising because she was 12 and he was like 60 or something like that. But like, it just never really like went through to my brain.
Stick with the 30 and 12. At least that's like a decent number.
What?
Hey, I don't know
No,
what
it was 17. It was 17 and 30, and then
Okay, fair.
the real age would have been 12 and 60.
Yes, I don't want y'all to confuse the play with real life. In the play, which is what we're focused on, Abigail's like 17 and John is like 30, which is still a really big difference. But in real life, she was like 12, he was like 60, but they did not have an affair in real life, or there's no proof that they did. Their affair is something that Arthur Miller just kind of made up for dramatic effect and like to make a better story. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like there wasn't a 60-year-old doing creepy stuff with a 12-year-old in real life.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be more tasteful just a 30-year-old and a 17-year-old. At least that's more tasteful than a 60-year-old man with a 12-year-old.
470. How do I say that?
It settles in our mind better if she were like 17, 18 and he were like 30. That's
Right?
Not really going to. Okay, let's continue. I think I cannot.
Now in almost imperceptible.
Imperceptible hardness, but you don't have to read that part.
Oh. Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
Paris.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yep.
I got distracted.
No worries.
He's come to overthrow this court, Your Honor.
These are my friends. Their wives are also accused.
I judge you not, sir. I am ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only...
Marcia, go into the court and bid Judge
Stoughton, probably.
Stoughton and Judge Seawall declare recess for 1 hour and let them go to the tavern if they will. All witnesses and prisoners are to be kept in the building.
Yeah, there's an occasional typo like that, but we can figure it out. Herrick.
Zane.
Is he still in here? Yeah.
Hey, sir. Miss Very Differently? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
If I may say it, sir, I know this man all my life. It is a good man, sir.
I am sure of it, Marshal Hendrick. Now, what disposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? And I beg you to be clear, open as the sky and honest.
I'm no lawyer, sir, so I'll...
The pure in heart needs no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
That's a messed up thing to say. The pure in heart need no lawyers. Like, we get lawyers no matter what. Like, that's just the law that we're entitled to a lawyer if we're having some kind of legal issue. And he's basically like, if you're innocent, why do you need a lawyer? And you know the police still use that kind of tactic, but it's annoying. Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testament. The people signing it declare their good opinion of Rebecca and my wife and Martha Corey.
Their good opinion.
These are all landholding farmers, members of the church. If you'll notice, sir, they've known the women many years and never saw no sign they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
Oh, who is Francis?
I think I do not know, but I nominate James to do it.
All right, James, you can be Francis.
Do I really have to read?
Yes.
He doesn't have that many lines. Like he's
Okay.
like 2 pages.
All right. Right there, 91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
Mr. Danforth, I give them all my word. No harm would come to them for signing this.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Miss McClellan, can you read that line?
Oh, sure. Is every defense an attack upon the court? Can no one...
All innocent and Christian people are happy for courts in Salem. These people are gloomy for it. And I think you will want to know from each and every one of them what discontents them with you.
I think they ought to be examined, sir.
It's not necessarily at
James. James, it's your turn.
Oh, it is? I thought it was Francis.
Yeah, it is Francis's turn.
Oh, it is. I thought it was Danforth. Sorry. These are all covenanted Christians, sir.
then I am sure they may have nothing to fear. Mr. Cheever have warned John for all of the arrests for examination. Now, Mr. What other information do you have for us? You may say, Mr. Lewis.
I've brought trouble on these people I have.
No, old man, you have not hurt these people. If they are of good conscience, but you must understand, sir, that a person is either with this court or must be counted against it. There be no road between. This is a sharp time now, precise time. We live no longer in the dusty afternoon when evil makes itself with good and
Befuddled.
the world. Now by God's grace, the shining sun is up, and them that fear not light will surely praise it. I hope you will be one of those. See not hearted, I see.
And then we'll have Mary Warren in a second, which Genesis was Mary Warren the other day. But I think we learned kind of a lot about Danforth's character at this point. He's somebody who like really sees in black and white. And even though his job is to kind of like get to the truth of what's going on, it doesn't seem like he's all that interested in the truth. He's more interested in punishing people. And he says like, you're either with us or against us. And if you're against us, you must have a reason, aka you must be like mixed up with the devil, which is really not fair because these trials are not fair. And if somebody is pointing that out, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are mixed up in evil or witchcraft or mixed up with the devil. It might just mean they're a logical person and sees some corruption in this whole process. No, she's not, sir. Now remember what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias. Remember it.
Jenny.
Is Jenny with us?
She is.
Oh, but you know what? It says that her audio is not working. So that's not her fault.
Mm.
1 second. Yeah, it's not for some reason. In fact, I hope that she's able to hear all of this. No. Okay, I'll read Mary. She has got like 2 lines. I do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee. I. So here it comes back, and now we also have Giles, which is LeBron.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to show you some pictures and you're going to write it on your whiteboard.
Okay.
John,
You don't have to draw the pictures, you're just going to write the numbers.
What are we hearing?
John. Sorry, that's the back. Sorry, John. My deposition. Give me mine.
This is Mr. Corey's deposition.
He looked, oh,
Oh.
he looked down at it. Oh, I
Yeah, you don't have to read that.
What lawyer drew this, Corey?
You know, I never hired a lawyer in my life.
Say this is
At Hawthorne.
322. 322.
My compliments.
Huh?
My compliments, Mr. Paris.
My compliment, Mr. Pierce. That was you?
Oh, that's you. What?
Okay, Mr. Pierce
That's the number 322. 300.
is in the courtroom. You bring him in. You have no legal training, Mr. Corey.
Write down what that number is.
Very pleased.
On my right.
I have the best, sir. I am 33 times in court and count
Okay, how many
in my
ones?
life,
How many
and
tens how many
always
ones? And write that number down.
plaintiff too.
Oh, then you are much putting upon.
I never put, I I am never put upon. I know my rights, sir, and I will have them. You know, your father tried a case of mine. Might be 35 years ago, I think. He never spoke to you of it. That's strange. He gave me £9 damage. He was a fair judge. Your father, you see, I had a white mare. That Tidge.
But I don't actually know what that means.
I don't either. And
Isn't a
this
mare a horse?
Yeah, a mare is a female horse.
Okay, and then tinge.
But I don't know what tinge means.
And this fellow
In
comes to
context.
borrow this mare.
and this fellow come to borrow the mare.
Something about the horse being good enough to be borrowed, I think.
Okay.
I have here an accusation by Mr. Corey against you. He states that you coldly prompt your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs that is now in jail.
It is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states your charge is a lie. What say you to that? What?
They fought on Tom Putnam. On Thomas Putnam.
Right, what that number
Oh,
is.
That is what
It is a lie. I'm sorry.
Where are you?
We're past that already.
What's my part now?
No. LeBron's reading the right part right now.
That is what I said to that. Say to that. Yeah.
100, 2 tens, and 9 ones.
My proof is there. If Jacob hangs for which he
Awesome.
forfeit up his property,
129.
that's law. And there is none but putting him with the coin to buy some great peace. Yeah. This man is killing his neighbors for their land. The proof is there. I have it from an honest man who heard, putting him putting him say it. The day his sister cried out on Jacob's, he said she'd given him a fair gift of land.
1 second. And the name of this man?
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
Why, I cannot give you his name.
And why not?
Saying a snitch.
You know well why not. He'll lay in jail if I give him his name.
This is contempt of the court, Mr. Danforth.
You will surely tell us the name.
I will not give you no name. I mentioned my wife name once, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute. You're talking, man.
So hopefully you are writing that down on your board.
Case, I have no
Think about how many hundreds,
for
how many tens, how many ones.
you
I'm
know
writing on my board. Let's see.
This is a hearing.
800
You cannot clap.
0
You cannot clap
tens,
me for
and 7
contempt.
ones.
Yeah, contempt of a hearing.
That's what that looks like. We call that 807. 807.
there's a court in a full session here, or will you?
I cannot give you no name, sir. I cannot.
You are a foolish old man, Mr. Cheever. Begin the record.
The record.
Record.
Mhm.
Begin the record. The court is now in session. I ask you, Mr. Corey.
Your Honor, he has the story in confidence, sir, and he
The devil lives on such confidences. Without confidences, there would be no conspiracy, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. I think it must be broken, sir.
Old man, if you
Your informant. Yeah.
if your informant tells me the truth, let him come here openly like a decent man. But if he hides in
Anonymity. Yeah. Being anonymous.
I must know why. Now, sir, the government and Central Church demand of you the name of him who reported Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Wait, who is Hale again? Was that me? Excellency. I should do another
Mr.
voice.
Hale.
I should do a different voice for Hale. We cannot blink it more. There is a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
Then there is a prejudice. Am I saying that?
Prodigious.
Prodigious guilt in the country. Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, sir, but there is fear in the country nevertheless.
Reproach me not with the fear in the country. There is fear in the country because there is a moving topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is a part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this church, this court, Mr. Hale, none. You are under arrest for in contempt of. Now sit and take counsel or you will be set in the jail.
So they're like arresting Giles Corey because he won't snitch on whoever else it was. And because he's so upset, if you look in these stage directions, he makes a rush for Putnam. He's like trying to hurt Putnam. No, Giles. Giles, LeBron.
Ah, crap, Bascat. I was on mute. Sorry. I'll
Alright.
cut your throat, Putnam. I'll kill you yet.
Peace, Giles, peace. We'll prove ourselves. Now we will.
He's only playing you. You mean to hang us all?
Mary Warren bursts into sobs again.
This is a court of law, mister. I'll have no
Effrontery.
effrontery here.
Forgive him, sir, for his old age. Peace, Giles, will prove it all now. You cannot weep, Mary. Remember the angel, what he says to the boy. Hold to it now. There is your rock. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you remember, sir, while you read it, that until 2 weeks ago, she was no different than the other children are today. You saw her scream, she howled, she swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of women now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And then when she refused, sorry. No, go ahead.
We know all of this.
Aye, sir. She swears now that she never saw Satan, nor any spirit, vague or clear, that Satan may have sent to hurt her. And she declares her friends are lying now.
Excellency, a moment. I think this goes to the heart of the matter.
It surely does.
I cannot say he is an honest man. I know him a little, but in all justice, sir, a claim so weighty cannot be argued by a farmer. In God's name, sir, stop here. Send him home and let him come again with a lawyer.
Danforth, that's your line. I don't know why he's not bolded.
Now look you, Mr. Hale.
Excellency, I have signed 72 death warrants. Oh, I am a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without there be a proof so immaculate, no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Mr. Hale, you surely do not doubt my justice.
I have this morning signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse, Your Honor. I'll not conceal it. My hands shake. My hand shakes yet as with a wound. I pray you, sir, this argument let lawyers present to you.
Mr. Hale, believe me, for a man of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered. I hope you will forgive me. I have been 32 years at the bar, sir, and I should be founded where I called upon to defend these people. Let you consider now, and I bid you all do likewise in an ordinary crime. Now does one offend. Oh,
Yeah, you got a nice little chunk here.
the accused, one calls up witnesses to prove his innocence, but witchcraft is
Ipso facto. It's Latin.
on its face and by its nature an invisible crime is it not? Therefore, who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and the victim. None other. Now we cannot hope the witch will accuse herself. Granted. Therefore, we must rely upon her victims, and they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, none will deny that we are most eager for all of their confessions. Therefore, what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my point, have I not?
But this child claims the girls are not truthful, and if they are not,
That is precisely what I am about to consider, sir. What more may you ask of me? Unless you doubt my pride,
Probity.
probity.
I surely do not, sir. Let you consider it then.
And let you put your heart to rest. Her disposition, Mr. Proctor.
Before we move on, I want to talk about his argument for a minute here, Danforth, because on one hand, that's really logical, but on the other hand, it's really unfair because he's basically saying, like, he says witchcraft is an invisible crime. he's admitting to that. And so the question is, like, you can't expect someone who's actually a witch to incriminate themselves. So you have to rely on the testimony of witnesses, the victims that the witches have done stuff to. But like, while that's logical on one hand, on the other hand, anyone can accuse anyone, and like he's admitting, we kind of have to rely on eyewitness testimony here, because a witch is not going to admit it themselves. But the kind of catch-22 there is that anyone can accuse anyone and they don't need proof, and that's really unfair. So like you would kind of expect a judge who has been at the bar, meaning he's been in the law profession for 32 years, you kind of expect him to acknowledge that and maybe go with the whole innocent until proven guilty thing, but not Danforth. He's totally ready to believe anybody who's accusing someone of witchcraft. Maybe not the best judge in the world. I don't know. It's my opinion. Okay, so Proctor hands him the deposition, starts reading. Everybody's kind of involved. Mary Warren is still sobbing her face off. And that's pretty much it. So we're picking up with Paris here. Alyssa.
I should like to question.
Mr. Pierce, I need you to be silent. Peace out. Mr. Cheever, right?
Mhm.
Cheever, will you go into the court and bring the children here? Mary Warren, how came you to this turnabout? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Has he threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me that that you sat in my court
Callously, yeah.
callously lying when you knew that people would hang by your evidence. Answer me.
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you know that God damns all liars? Or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I am with God now.
You are with God now?
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this, you are either lying now or you were lying in the court. And in either case, you have committed perjury and you will go to jail for it. You cannot lightly say you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
Bless you. I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God. But then she breaks into sobs, and we have Susanna Walcott, Mercy Lewis, Betty Paris, and finally Abigail coming into the courtroom. And then Cheever comes to Danforth. Sorry, I'm just looking ahead a little bit. This might actually be a good place to stop because we only have 4 minutes left. And before we get all these people in here, that might be a better idea. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for just a minute. Well, for 4 more minutes. And just remind you about how you're going to be kind of navigating the next couple of days. And again, if you get confused, go back to announcements on Canvas, and there's an announcement that tells you what you should be doing for both of those days. But tomorrow you're going to do the web quest and do the National Geographic page that shows you what it was like in the Salem Witch Trials. And then Monday you'll do vocab and make sure that your Act 2 and Act 3 worksheets are done. But you're going to be finishing Act 3 by Tuesday, which means you should be able to do the worksheet for it by Tuesday as well. Any questions about any of that?
One of them is, the girl said, man, I'm not with God. Wait, what?
Meaning she's like, like in a partnership with God. Like she has turned to God rather than the devil.
Hundreds, tens,
She
ones.
just said, "Oh yeah, I'm now believing your guys' religion."
Yeah, Mary Warren's in kind of a tough spot, to be honest, because like she is admitting at this point that she's lied in court because before she said that there was all this witchcraft going on, and now she's taking it back. But she's also kind of being pressured by John Proctor, which is understandable because he knows that it's not real. He knows that his wife's not a witch. He knows that all this stuff is not true. But the fact that he's kind of putting pressure on her to tell what he wants her to tell, that doesn't make either of them look good. And I also wanted to mention when we found out Elizabeth was pregnant, she's sort of like spared a little bit because she's pregnant. They're like, well, let's give it a month and see if she is looking pregnant. And if it turns out that she is, then even if she's proven a witch, she'll get to live until she delivers her baby. Not dead yet, but
once she delivers the baby, they're gonna execute her.
yeah, like if they prove that she's a witch, they'll wait until the baby's born and then kill her.
A year old.
And I know, like, what if the baby needs its mom?
No, it doesn't. Not in this world. The baby can live on its own. Nobody's gonna tell her anything.
Your mic's too close, friend. Your mic's too close.
I know what my mic is. Don't tell me how to live my life.
I know what my mic is.
Excuse me.
Okay. Well, the bell's about to ring, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you on Tuesday. So make sure you get all that stuff done. Bye.
Okay, bye. Don't lick me.